Okay, and some music beds on here. Alright, I think we are good. So, hello everybody, this is CVGS. I'm the captain here, and we are here for our discussion stream for the live stream that happened yesterday, which was on the what time is it? What day is it? It was the 20th of April, and despite it not being Vanguard, or at least the Vanguard that we know, it's full of the collab information for Touken, Ranbu, and also for Monster Strike as well. We still got quite an interesting idea of what we can expect for the months of May and for July as well. So, hello Brain, hello Kyle, hello my jammers, hello Potato. Yeah, it's a captain. So, but you have to understand, Leon and Demstar are working on dots, and we're getting stuff happening behind the scenes, which also includes. Just give me a moment, while I actually let me just head to our community tab, which is youtube.com/c/crossbone-vanguards/community. So a lot of stuff is happening behind the scenes, which also includes us. Actually, we are actually hosting. Let me just blow this up big so you guys can see it. We are also hosting a CVGS Overdress online tournament in the Japanese D standard over on hang on, let me see if I can blow this up. Yeah, this should be able to do it. We're hosting actually a Overdress tournament actually for Japanese format. It's happening this Friday. So if you guys want to play some Overdress in the tournament and if you guys want to win some prizes for SGD $5, and if we can get a minimum of 14 players, you'll be able to compete for the one box of Japanese DBT-01. And this one is not just limited to players in Singapore because it's an online tournament. So international players, if you guys have a Japanese deck, if you guys have the boost from the Japanese side, you can actually join into on this tournament. And as we have here, you can go to our community tab, you can find the link. We will have the link to the Discord very soon. We're just getting things ready. So yeah, so hey Brain, yep, it's the captain, yep. But sadly I can't join because I need to save money. That's alright. Just let your friends know that we have a tournament going on right now. If they want to join, they can absolutely come to the community tab here on our YouTube page. So you can follow us on all of our socials, all in the description box below. You guys will be able to find out how to get into the Discord server because we're still setting things up, but we will be hosting a tournament. Hopefully this one will be a weekly thing as well, so maybe every week we have a tournament. So if you guys are interested, absolutely 100%. Come in and join, have a bunch of a good time. Maybe find some other players that you can interact with, not just here in Singapore, but also in the other countries as well. You guys can absolutely 100% be able to compete and join. And what there? Can I share the tournament to my friend? Absolutely 100%. Spread the word. Let them know that we have a tournament on the Discord. It's an online tournament. It'll be remote play. So you guys will be competing for the Japanese DBT-01 one box. So it's a top prize. Then you get 10 packs and 6 packs and a whole bunch of other stuff as well. Very good experience. So yeah, looking forward to the results. Yeah, not just the results also. We might do something as well because we are still considering what we can do here on YouTube. You know, to bring you this content. We'll see whether if we got something for there. If we have, you can definitely see on the channel. Otherwise, we do have our Overdress content coming very soon with me playing Violence Bruce and such also, because y'all have doubted me. Y'all are let me blow myself up big so that I can cut this promo. Y'all don't believe in me. Y'all think I can't take down your champion Leon. CVGS Overdress Leon, I will take you down with this Violence Bruce deck and I will become the CVGS Overdress champion one day. And that day will be coming sooner than later. You mark my words, Leon. One of these days. Just a little bit of fun. But yeah, that's the encouragement that we kind of have. So, right, so let's get into the discussion. Which way, yo, where is the crew? Well, Dempster is running a little late at the moment right now. I think he's sorting out some stuff behind the scenes on his end. Leon is actually taking care of some business as well, which includes also trying to set this tournament up that I mentioned. And yeah, this tournament is part of the collaborative. So some of the time that you see Leon in the not here, he's actually because he's working on stuff like this, so that we can have more content and have a more competitive community within our ranks as well. So yeah, I mean, we are hosting these tournaments and you guys can absolutely 100% join in, have some fun, win some prizes, so on and so forth from there. So how was match between start decks? They're all on the YouTube channel right now, so who won and lost, they're all on the YouTube channel. So as we saw, with Dark States versus Dragon Empire, a lot of people think that sorry, not Dark States, Brandgate. A lot of people believe that Brandgate actually can take out, Virina, can take out Nirvana. But as you show, if the player is smart enough, he's actually able to plan and overcome the locking that you would see from from what Sarah Snow can actually do. So good luck, Cap. Gotcha. Monster Hunter Rise for me. Yep. So yeah. Don't forget to wash your wash. Yes, please don't forget to wash your wash. We are still in a pandemic era, so please do take care of yourself, take care of others, practice good hygiene, and so on and so forth. Wash your wash, you guys. Right, let's get straight into the discussion right now. We got a lot of Touken Ranbu stuff, but I actually want to go through this cards of the day. We went through these two first over on the YouTube channel. On the Twitch channel. The YouTube channel here will go through them just as well. These are actually the cards that has revealed for the special series. And according to the poll, which if I bring it up over here, poll that sorry, I can't see. So let me just put a vote over there. So right, as you can see, a lot of you prefer to see DBT-02 stuff, so the collab stuff is not up to you guys, but it is a good thing actually, because having this collabs in which was announced in May as well as in July, these two are actually like giving breaks for Overdress players. So instead of us having to buy Overdress for all 5 nations every month, they're actually spacing it out between, like, you know, once every 2 months, and there's something else in the middle over here. Granted, the special series as well as the collab sets that we're getting in the 2 months are actually you know, they don't actually save us if you wish to purchase them, but for those that are just working on the Overdress, the 5 main nations, you actually do have a break, which is kind of like a good thing as well. And not to mention as well that the stuff that we got from the reviews that we have for Monster Strike and for Touken Ranbu, they're actually looking pretty interesting actually. So before we dive in, just want to say that this one is actually a little concerning. This tweet actually, let me just translate it over here. Mori-san because they translated his name from there. So apparently Tokyo is actually going to go through another has another state of emergency declaration, so it might interfere with the Daivangasai actually. So their Vanguard festival actually might be facing some cancellations. We won't know just yet, but we guys will keep you up to date on that. We'll see whether or not to hold the card game festival in response to the increased possibility of the government issuing a third state of emergency. Wash your wash, ladies and gentlemen. So there. Kyle says, yesterday I watched a Touken Ranbu anime because I like that right line. Now I need a Touken Ranbu English deck. Well, there's no news on the Touken Ranbu English deck coming out, although it's interesting to note that the English Cardfight Vanguard they actually translated all the cards that we saw in the live stream actually. So that's interesting to note. Quite interesting to note that they're actually doing this. So it's not a confirmation on whether there's gonna be an English version of this. So yeah, if there is an English version, absolutely, you know, it'd be good. And especially since we got news, if I can find it over here. If I can find that over here, hang on, I just need to back. Where are those things? Did they put them up on here? They should have, I believe. Oh no, they didn't. I think I have to go to somebody else's Twitter on that. So let me check out that. They're actually giving out power counters actually. I think it was featured on Freedom Duos. Alright, so where they are. There we are. Hopefully, if they do come on English, we're actually getting these power counters. And I know how much you guys have been asking so much of us of, where do we get the power counters? Where do we get the power counters you guys use in your videos? I would love to 100% send you the link, but unfortunately, those power counters that we use are actually from 3 years ago for a out-of-date product, or rather an out-of-sale product. Limited time only, but they're actually printing these power counters, or rather they're producing these power counters, and they're actually going to go into the trial decks for Touken Ranbu. They're also going to go into the trial decks for Monster Strike. So if you want to get your hands on it, this will be the way to go. For English, not sure yet whether there's going to be English release, but if there is, there's a good chance that these power counters might come together with it, since this one isn't exactly this is quite universal, so it'll be easy to make extra of these power counters and then just put them in the English packs going forward. So yeah, take a sip of water. So yeah, so if you guys are looking for power counters, this is one good way to do it. If you can't wait, the earliest time they can get it is actually in May. I believe it's May 23rd for the Touken Ranbu start deck. Let me just pull up the information here. There it is. So trial deck May 22nd. So if you guys have ways to import Vanguard products, Japanese Vanguard products, you'll be able to get your hands on one of these, and as well as 2 power counters that's actually included in the pack as well. So you guys absolutely 100% will be able to get that from there. Otherwise, we will have to wait a while to see on what news that we can hear from for the English side. So do be patient. We will break the news as soon as we heard it ourselves here on CVGS. And yeah, so if we're talking about the information that we gotten from this page, yeah, so the cards that we got for Touken Ranbu, which is quite interesting, is a whole right line. It's Katsu Kiyomitsu and Katsu Kiyomitsu Sento, Toku, and Kiwame. So basically, it's the same dude, just powered up, like literally powered up. gone through, and it has a very interesting skill. So when the grade 1 is when it's ruled by the grade 2, you look at the top card of your deck, then you can add it to the top of your deck, put it on top of your deck, or put it in your soul. The grade 2's ability, when the grade 3 rides on top of it, if you can search your deck for one copy of this grade 2 and add it to your hand, and after that you shuffle your deck. This grade 2 skill is that by paying counter +1, for the turn, this unit gets plus 5k. Then if your Vanguard is the grade 3, instead of 5k, it gets plus 10k instead. And this one is not once per turn, so you can counterblast as many times as possible, because the grade 3 skill is for the turn continuous. If you have no face-up cards on in your damage zone, this unit gets plus 10k. So that's quite big actually. So its other skill, the auto once per turn, counterblast 1, soul blast 1, by paying that cost. Look at the top card of your deck, and then you can choose to put it at the top or bottom of your deck, and then you draw 1. So yeah. Touken Ranbu, the game is coming to English this year, I believe. So if they are coming out in English version for Touken Ranbu, the Touken Ranbu game itself, then there's a good chance that this product might release in English to help with the promotion of the game as well. So Sword Boys, I used to love the anime of this. So yeah, this was very hyped back in the day. So in the time of Azure Lane, Kantai Collection, and Touken Ranbu as well, these are like the hype things that everybody was talking about in the anime community for quite some time. So they weren't really watching the shows, they were just playing more of these games, or rather VPNing, so that they can play all these games. And it's surprising for us as well, because the last time we saw Touken Ranbu was back in the G era actually. So in the G era, hang on, let me just double check here. Right, in the G era, you know, they did release the trial deck, and then they released a few booster sets, which also includes 2 special sets as well. I forgot what they were called. So, and then after that, Touken Ranbu just wasn't proving popular, so I thought they ended the contract with it. So, but surprisingly, it turned out that when Overdress came out, they also renewed, or you know, they continued their commitment to producing Touken Ranbu cards, and suddenly these cards look very, very good. It looks really, really, really good. Not bad. And of course, this one, and we're also going to be getting more information. So as we go along down the weeks up to the release of this, right, maybe towards the festival collection, we actually might be seeing more Touken Ranbu stuff. So you might see some Touken Ranbu coverage here on CVGS in terms of you know, what cards are we getting, because you know, this was one way to get more players into Vanguard. And it did prove useful for at the start of it when they first came out of it. So, and this is a good continuation, since Overdress is actually a very, very good format to actually jump back into Vanguard, which is actually quite nice. So, husbandos will come. Yes, husbandos will all be coming over here. So, right. So, not much information that we have from them thus far. It's just the release date for the Touken Ranbu booster, as well as the trial deck. And there is a chance that you can get the Touken Ranbu rares out of it. So this one actually is all from the trial deck. All this is actually all on the trial deck. It's possible to actually get yourself one copy of this if you purchase the you know, the booster set or the trial deck, if I remember correctly. So all these are actually quite gotten easily from there. And as it turns out, they will have their own over trigger as well, and it's also Kashu Kiyomitsu, Shinken Hisatsu. So we don't know their skills yet, but going forward into the weeks, we will find out very, 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 very soon. Right, so then we move up to the other collab that they're doing, which is actually for Monster Strike, and they announced there's actually going to be 2 title trial decks that's coming out in the end of May. Now, not much information has been given out for the start decks, for these 2 trial decks yet. The only thing that's known about these 2, other than the 2 style decks, as well as the, you know, they're also getting power counters in there as well, and what the Monster Strike rare looks like. But also, not this image. Where is it? This one right here is the biggest kicker, and the what is going on here? This is the biggest surprise of the entire live stream, because this particular one. Sorry, hang on. I thought I saw something weird. So this one actually for the game of Monster Strike. If you guys are familiar, this is actually the gacha gate, or rather the image of the gacha, the gacha Ridora, and it's actually a set order card for Monster Strike. And the way this works is that you don't actually have traditional right lines in the Monster Strike boosters, and this has something to do with the 10 gacha rolls that you get, which left a lot of speculation for a lot of people. Basically, a lot of people are thinking that you pay a cost, you get to look at the top 10 cards of your deck, choose one among them, and then you write it as you know, you write it as 10 your Vanguard circle, or you know, you mill 10 and then you look at the top card and after that you write it, so on and so forth. So this one is particularly interesting because this one is there's actually going to be a gacha mechanic in Vanguard itself, in the gameplay of Vanguard, and not you opening packs and finding your cards and hopefully you get the SP that you've been wanting for so long. No. This is you look at the top 10 cards of your deck, potentially choosing one and write it or doing stuff with it. So because this is a 10 roll gacha and it's a mechanic in the Monster Strikes, and it's like, what the freaking frack. So we're getting more information on this in the coming weeks. I believe the next week's schedule is here. This one, of course, will be updated, but we are going to be seeing more information on Touken Ranbu as well as Monster Strike as well. So let me know what you guys think about the let me know guys know what you think about the collab sets going forward as well, because the way I see it, right, because they are spaced in July as well as in May for the Touken Ranbu one. Let me just find the image over there. So this means that we are actually getting a month break from the mainline titles, actually, which is actually kind of a good thing, because if you're only playing the mainline titles, and we all are aware of, you know, like gacha fatigue or boost fatigue, so this is kind of like a way for them to combat boost fatigue by introducing other things, which also includes potentially like premium collection stuff as well, so they can actually take up some of the months and actually go from there. Oh boy, I can't see my alert box. But I think yes, we got subscribed from Misa Vegera. Thank you so much for subscribing to us. I should really put the alert box on top of the chat box. I don't know why that's there, so yeah, that should be fine. So a gacha, great nature, lottery noises. It's literally something to do with 10 cards for the gacha system that they're actually implementing into Monster Strike. So this is gonna be a hell of a good, interesting thing to see, because these are also potential decks that people can pick up and use in official tournament play. So something like this is good to pay attention to if you're a competitive scene, because we need to see what this kind of thing can do for players going forward. So the name is on top, not the bottom. You mean? The name is on top, not the bottom. So no, okay. I'm not sure about the name there, but the name is also up here as well. So so yeah, this is weird, but interestingly weird. I'm paying attention to it. So right. So that's all the information. It's good that we're getting a break from the sets, because that means that we could see like premium collection actually coming out in between the months of like Vanguard Overdress boosts coming out, which is actually good for everybody's wallets as they continue to breathe and go along. So right, let's actually go over the cards of the day that we got here, because these are the stuff that we actually want to look forward to in the festival collection and news that we were hoping to see on the live stream, but turns out we're getting them as part of the card of the day that actually releasing on their website. So we'll go from the latest one to top one, because this one just came out earlier today, and this is for Vanguard. And yeah, so there's two cards, one's designed for Office and the other is designed for Sarah Snow. And the one designed for Sarah Snow is Spark Lemonade, I believe. So when this unit's attack hit, if you choose two of your opponent's cards you choose up to 2 cards in your opponent's drop zone and send them to prison. So this one allows you to actually fetch cards for your opponent's drop zone if they're not playing any rear guards. They actually are able to get cards for drop zone and send it to the prison, which makes getting Sarah Snow up to 3 a little bit easier in a lot more situations going forward from there. So by the way, there'll be no anime on this Saturday. Yeah, there is no anime on this Saturday because, as mentioned previously before, they're actually taking the week off. So this Saturday, I believe they're doing some sort of recap, if I'm not mistaken, for the first 3 episodes. And then after that, we get episode 4, 5, 6, 7, and go on all the way until 12 after this week. So it's cry, yeah. I understand your sentiments as well, given how good the first 3 episodes are. So, but that being said, right, we might expect a very explosive 4th episode going forward from there. So pretty much for the anime itself, we're gonna have to wait until next week, or rather 2 weeks from now, before we can actually start talking about it again here on the discussion stream from there. So Andrew says Brandgate cards are meh for me, but I'll still get them. Yes, this one actually seems a bit meh, but actually it does provide Sarah Snow with ability to be able to get back her 3 cards in the prison in order to get the +1 drive. So if that's something they want to go for. So to me, the way I see this is like, this is actually a blessing and a curse for Sarah Snow players, because they do have to be careful of who they send into the prison, because while they can send, you know, like trigger units into the prison, and you know, the other player will have no uses for them, but if the opponent is smart enough, or if it's done early enough, right, he might end up sending cards that the opposing player will actually end up using the turn for his next turn going forward. So it is something that you have to be careful to play. It's actually a very, very good card for offensive purposes as well. So the jail is getting bigger. Yeah, the jail needs to get bigger. So luckily the thing is expensive, so it doesn't stay in the small card. It grows. So we need more space in the prison. That's pretty much how it goes. So alright, I think all the TDs will get the power counters, Monster Strike, Touken, Ranbu, and Liquor Monetario. I believe that is the case. I'm not sure if they are gonna go with start decks and then give the counters again, but I think going forward they should be producing these counters, because a lot of people have actually, we know for sure, a lot of people were asking for these power counters, and Bushido did give them out, but only as promotional items, and now they're giving it out in the trial decks. So it gives people a lot more incentive to actually purchase the trial decks for the power counters. If they don't like pick, they can wait 2 months to get a red color one, and then maybe if there are more trial decks that's coming out in the later ends of, as we get deep into Overdress, we might see more power counters being released as additional products or accessories added to the start decks going forward from there. So what thing from 3rd episode when Danji says he is retiring? Oh, what do you think? Is it? I think it's an interesting dynamic actually. So because of the fact that Danji has been 20-0, and so, you know, when you're 20-0, I've been at the top before, in one regards or another, and so I understand his sentiment as to why he chose to retire, because it's kind of not exciting for him, in a way. So, and you know, it's always good to go out on top, because then if you go out on top, then people are gonna have to match you at your top, instead of you going forward and, you know, just being defeated from there. So if you can tell, I have actually haven't watched the 2nd episode yet. So sorry, the 3rd episode yet. So I have been busy with fasting month, as well as getting stuff ready behind the scenes as well, and so on and so forth. So so yeah. Anyways, for continuing with the Brand Gate one, the other one, this is actually designed for office, and it's a little interesting how this works. Once per turn on the Regard Circle X skill, by paying counter +1 and resting this unit, choose one of your opponent's rear guards in the front row and retire it, which adds removal to Officer's deck, which is interesting because this one asks you to rest this unit in order to be able to pay for its cost. I like to see, I think I can see this in Sarah Snow, because it adds more removal, and it's like, oh, I don't want that to go to prison, but I want to get rid of it. So, you know, Collabs 1, rest this unit, retire front row regard circles. You can get rid of Virina that way. You can get rid of Virina Valiant as well. So this one can actually go with Sarah Snow, which is actually quite nice. So, but this one going in office, right? If you rest this, then you probably will replace it with your shadow tokens for office going forward as well. So I hope he will be UU's mentor even if he's retiring. Yeah, I think that should be the case also, because Danji should still have a strong presence in the anime itself. So yeah. So that's the 2 cards that were released today for Brand Gate. They look nice, they look great, and good additions to consider from there. The ones for Dark States were released yesterday. This one is weird, so I'll get to this first, because I have no idea how to process this card. You guys let me know what your thoughts are on this one. Degraded Age Dragon. So when this unit is placed on the regard circle, if you have 5 or more cards in your soul, by discarding 1 card from your hand, you choose one of your opponent's back row regards and retire it. Isn't Barrow Maintenance already strong enough as with a regard removal on its own? Like, I don't foresee how you can have a problem or difficulty getting 15 cards in the soul. So for you to tell me that oh, you actually need something like this in order to have some semblance of control in Barrow Maintenance kind of boggles my mind quite a little bit. So it's very weird. I find this card to be very, very weird. And if I mix this with Violence Bruise as well, that's even weirder as well, because Violence Bruise has been full power, no manipulation. So let me know what you guys think, because I'm a little bit, I feel a bit funny about this card over here on the right. So yeah. Anyways, the card on the left is we have Diablo's Boys Jared. So Collabs 1 Collabs 1 Soul Blast 1 once per turn on the Vanguard circle. Choose one of your units with Diablos in its name and it gets plus 10k. So plus 10k to Violence Bruce, plus 10k to Eden, plus 10k to Steve himself as well. This is actually a really good card, and that cost is actually negligible since you're only using your counter blast for Eden, and the Soul Blast, that one you can easily recover back with, like say the Acrobat Presenter, that allows you to Soul Charge 2 when you're in Final Rush. So this is good. This is quite nice actually. So, and of course, this other skill is when this unit attacks, if you're in Final Rush for the battle, this unit this unit is attacking, your opponent cannot use intercept. Negligible. Me personally I believe this something like this is quite negligible. So yeah, not much going on the second skill. Is the first one that's actually quite strong also and quite worthwhile. Now we'll go on to the Dragon Empire one. We should be expecting the next two in the couple days going forward. But we'll touch up on these as well. Blaze Maiden Mirin. When your unit with the Overdress ability attacks by sending this card into the soul, choose one of your units with the Overdress ability and it gets plus 5k. Now, this doesn't seem much, but you get to choose which one gets plus 5k. So, yeah. By the way, why the blue card is getting OP than red card, according to W/Slasher, MTG can relate to this. Yeah, the blue card is actually stronger than the red card because MTG is like, I understood that reference. Yeah, that's a very good joke also. Maybe we get to see a build like V Gear Chronicle for this G1 on box 2. So we could be seeing something new in GBTO2. So this card might not be for Baron Magnus, but it could be for something down the line. In box 2. So yeah, that's a really good point, Kaio. That's a really good point to point out as well. Mirin, you get to choose which one gets it. So you can attack with Virina. Then after that, give plus 5k, or you can attack with Nirvana, then you attack with Virina. Then after that, you can send Mirin in, assuming she's behind the Vanguard. You can send Mirin in, and after that, you can choose plus 5k to the Virina that's attacking, or another Virina, maybe Virina Valiant. And that one goes from 23 to 28 without any boosts. So, you know, a lot of people say that, you know, this is a bit meh, like it doesn't add much. I know Leon will say for sure, but I like to think that plus 5k, right, onto something that requires that power, and you can choose to use it whether if you want to or not. It's just a matter of choice from there. So, like, imagine if you attack with Virina Valiant, and after that the attack hits, he restands. You attack, move Mirin into the soul, and after that it gets plus 5k. So the potentiality is there. It's more about what this card can bring in terms of potentiality, more so than what it actually does. Because what it doesn't seem much, to be perfectly honest. And speaking of much, I'm drinking a lot of water because, you know, I'm the only one that's talking here. So, yeah. So speaking of not much, we got this one for Eugene. This one is a little bit controversial. Continuous rearguard circle. For the turn, this unit gets plus 5k, and then after that, if your opponent has a front row rearguard, this unit cannot attack the Vanguard. So yeah, but we don't get superior right, cause Gear lost time leap in the D-Law. Yeah, I don't think there should be any sort of superior riding in Dark States also, especially for a Gear Chronic base deck. I think we might not get time leap, but we might get something along the lines of sending cards to the bottom of the deck. So it might go back to the original Chronojet style of play, where it's sending your opponent's cards to the bottom of the deck instead of, you know, you changing your regards to something else from the deck also. Brian says, I'm excited. When will the review for Keter will be? Should be within a couple of days because there's only 2 more clans left, and Thursday, Friday, yeah, perfect. Thursday and Friday, one for each of the remaining clans. So, and you will see that in our recap video. So we will be doing a recap video, and it will be released tomorrow, so you guys can keep up to date with what we're seeing over here, because I do intend to talk about these cards in our recap video from there. So, but anyways, back to this one over here. A lot of people are really want to pile on top of Eugene, but let me present something to you. Let me present an argument to you for this particular card. This one says that if your opponent has a unit in the front row, this unit cannot attack the Vanguard. What if you use this unit to rest for Eugene's skill? It's ideal because, you know, you want to attack the Vanguard. You can't if your opponent has a front row rear guard, so what can you do with this card? Rest it. And maybe another unit as well, maybe 2 copies of it. Rest it. Then after that, retire using Eugene. you get stuff going off from there, because if you have any sort of chain combination, and there are 50k attackers, right, if you do achieve them, which means that you don't have to pay Counterblast 1 and Soul Charge 1 plus 5k for Randor, which is kind of like your ideal choice for front row Regard attacker. So this is actually another good one, and the utility here is that because of his limitations, you can actually use him to pay for Eugene's cost without sacrificing anything that seems a bit more worthwhile by not paying the cost from there. So yeah, I mean, I will agree with people saying that Eugene is not very strong, but I see this card and I see the opposite end. I play Devil's Advocate and I go, actually, this card isn't that bad at all, and it offers something unique to Eugene to be able for him to to pull off his cost without having to second guess yourself, kind of the way. How many new cards are in the festival collection? There are 10. 2 for each nation, so we're getting 10 in total. So we're waiting for the other 2 that's coming out in tomorrow and the next day or so, because they will be doing those card releases going forward from there. So yeah, these are the cards that we're expecting for 3 nations. We're expecting another 2 going forward. Let me guys know what you think for your nations going forward. We're still waiting for Keta, we're still waiting for Stoichea. I believe we might see Stoichea first before we see Keta's entry, but we will know once we get to the tomorrow at the very least. So, and speaking of the tomorrow, actually I brought this up to Leon and Dempster, and I know you guys might be a little bit disappointed that, you know, it's kind of like just me going forward. So actually what I brought up, the idea was that I actually want to have this discussion stream, and I kind of like want to invite some of the other VTubers to this discussion as well, because I do want to do more collaborations with some of the other Vanguard YouTubers out there. We have a direct connection. We have a direct. I'd say connection. We have a direct. You know, we can easily talk to Differify and see whether we can get something out from there. But I do want to talk to other people. I kind of like want to expand our network and just be a more, not say more inclusive, but include as much of the Vanguard community as much as we can. So let you guys let me know, who do you guys actually want to see on these discussion streams? Because if you guys want to see him, I'll send out an invite, and we see whether if we can work something out, and maybe we can get them onto this discussion stream. So, and that's something that we want to do going forward. So let me know who you guys want to actually see myself talking to, maybe myself, Leon Dems as well, like talking to some of the other Vanguard YouTubers as well as part of this discussion stream, so we can talk more about Vanguard, just more about other things, discussion stream basically. So Brain says with that Eugene has potential plus the support in set 2. Agreed as well, because I see this, right, and I think a lot of people initial thoughts are like they will bash a card like this because, you know, you gotta take the Vanguard and his removal is not really that good. Well, what if you use him for the removal first? And then after that, if he cannot replace, boom, he goes in the front row and it's free. So yeah, absolutely. So, but yeah, let me see, where do I watch this? Oh, okay. Yeah. So Race, you can send, we can send it to Race and see whether if he'd be willing to able to come on. So anybody. I will ask different fight soon, but I do want to include some of the other VTubers as well. I think one person that I do want to invite, if he is available, would be Aegis Mark II. Because we've done Aegis Mark II for some time, but we haven't really been able to kind of like talk shop really also. So that's somebody that actually I want to get onto these live streams, these discussion streams with us also. But he's not a YouTuber from what I know, so but that's okay. If you guys have anybody that you want to see, or rather be in these discussion streams also, do let me know. We will send out an outreach to them and see if we can get them to come onto the show and be part of this discussion as we talk about Vanguard and all sorts of other things that we are getting from the live streams and such also, and also talk with you guys as well, because definitely you guys, if you haven't seen this person, you can get to know them. If you have seen this person, then you can kind of see like the interactions that we kind of have with each other, just talk shop, maybe even get in a fight or two if that's 100% possible to do so. So yeah, absolutely, just let me know who you guys want to see. So right, so that's for the information that we got from the live stream and also from Card of the Day as well. there's one thing that I wanted to do, and I realized I've been doing this for some time actually, and that's actually looking up what other people have been building for Overdress. And originally I did want to have Leon and Dems on to be able to do this discussion so that we can bounce something off. But I actually am starting to look at other people and how they build their decks. Actually, going forward from there. Pogs, hello cat, welcome to the stream. So yeah, one of the things that I discovered with people building their decks for tournament play and such is that Dragon Empire players are actually using Trickstar as their first Vanguard, which is interesting because the Sunrise Egg is kind of negligible up to a certain extent. Like, yeah, you get a +1, but you know, if you go first, it's nothing. So it's not important also. How about invite different fight, Solemn Vanguard and Vanguard Insider? Different fight, absolutely 100%. I will invite him one of these days. I will reach out to Solemn. Vanguard Insider, absolutely. I would love to talk to Mr. Time Bleep if he's able to commit. And I've always wanted to talk to him for a very long time. So because when he first started, right, he did try to do fight videos as well, and he did talk about us and how we inspired his site to kind of do fight videos the way that we do. So he's definitely somebody that I would love to have on the show. So yeah, so I'll send Vanguard Insider an invite especially. I will definitely send out word to different fight as well, and I'll reach out to Solemn. Yeah, so these are people that I absolutely would love to be able to have on these streams, and we can just kind of like top shot from there. So so yeah. Gabriel's Day is coming, so if there's anybody that you guys want to see on these live streams, 100% let me know, and then I will do my best to try and get them on the show if I can, if it's possible for us to do so. Right. Okay, back to this. Dragon Empire, Trickstar as your first Vanguard. This is actually a not bad idea, because then you end up Soul Blasting when you ride Nirvana over Ryu. So you'll Soul Blast the Trickstar, which means he's in your drop zone, which means that he's easily fetched by Nirvana. Not say fetch for Nirvana. Yeah, you easily fetch for Nirvana, and then you'll be able to call him out to a Regard Circle. So that's one Trickstar you don't have to worry about. So this is actually quite interesting. Going down the list. Now this is interesting to me. They are combining Sarah Snow with Orphist. And I see where this is going. Even though it should not be recommended to do so, because the key thing about Abyssal Dark Knight is that with Abyssal Dark Knight, you actually need only world cards in order to keep them activated. So the idea would be that you will play with Abyssal Dark Knight first, and then after that, as you get later into the game, you would switch to the prison with Sarah Snow later down the line. So which is also true. Champion Steven, what's the strongest nation right now is debatable because they're all kind of strong. If you're talking about most popular ones, I would say Bastion is popular at this point in time. Sarah Snow, strong. I mean, what I'm featuring here is actually one of the champion decks actually, because there's been a lot of posts about decks that have been topping in local tournaments, especially in Japan, and this is one of them. So yeah. Sarah Snow, Office Bracket in general, actually, this one is actually quite strong in terms of among the 5. So, Brains Avatar, yes. What else? Because I was searching for ideas of what people are building for Violence Bruce, and unfortunately, because of the limited number of cards in our hands currently, so there's not a lot to kind of go off of in terms of like build differences and such. But yeah, I mean, when I look at these other decks and then go, so this is how they're actually playing it. That's actually a good idea. A really, really good idea. Here's one. I haven't seen this yet also. So, Violence Bruce, the whole right line is your right deck. The Overtrigger, Grade 3, Eden 4, one of these, 4 of the Steam Gunner, Acrobat, and 2 of these. I think I might end up playing 2 of these. He also played the dog that gives the unit plus 2k when this unit boosts. So yeah, plays 2 fronts as well. Okay. So yeah, most of this is actually, other than these one or two cards over here, most of these are actually already in this deck right now. So they're already in this deck right now. So I'm not seeing a lot of differences here in terms of what I built and what they built, but that's to be expected because we only just one booster in. So did I see Sarah Snow with Office? Yes, you saw Sarah Snow's Office, and those decks are actually topping tournaments. Actually, those decks are actually topping shop tournaments, and I can see why, because you go into prison later on. You go into prison later on, but you play with Abyssal Dark Knight first, so you get the power of Office first as you ride up. Then after that, you switch to Sarah Snow. Sarah Snow, you put the prison down, and then you'll be able to find your prison through your draws anyway. Then you put the prison down, you get rid of Abyssal Dark Knight because you don't need anymore. Then you start playing Sarah Snow, and then you just kind of start putting things in prison as your opponent is on a lower health threshold from there. So Sword Boys are the true strongest Sword Husbando until Lyrical Monasterio because Idol Waifu. So yeah, I actually kind of forgot. Lyrical Monasterio might actually be one of the in-between boosters actually. So, and it might be coming soon as well. Although no news yet. I believe it might come out in October. Because I think timeline wise, I think we haven't gotten any news beyond July at this point in time. August is kind of like up in the air because there was rumors there's a premium collection, and there's no word on BT03 just yet. So yeah, we might see Lyrical Monasterio sooner rather than later actually. So now we can see how those hold on, they're not they're idol waifus. Yeah, they're idol waifus. They're not mermaids anymore because they all don't have to be mermaids anymore. So yeah, yeah, we can see whether the idol waifus can actually take down Sword Boys. That could be a matchup going forward from there. So alright, so more deck builds. Bastion is actually popular right now because of the fact that, you know, you don't need anything in the front row. You don't need any grade 1s except your PGs. You don't need any grade 2s except for the one in your your right deck. Everything in this deck is now completely Morikawa. Everything in this deck is completely grade 3 so that you can consistently check either your trigger or your grade 3 for Bastion's ability. So it said that there's only a few grade 2s in Keta. So I think that's the reason why. Because of the fact that you want to use grade 3s more and more for their for Bastion's combination ability. But also like the grade 2s can actually be fitted more towards Hexo Orb Sorceress than they would on Bastion. So the meme is alive, guys. Your whole entire deck can be grade 3s. And it can actually work. But only because this is a thing. So but only because this is a thing. So and I like that people are picking and choosing their starting units actually. So because they don't have to follow the right line, they can just go with whatever art they like best. And of course our Tri-Connect is actually more appeasing to look than base. So yeah, that pretty much is true. So yeah, so this is just what I've been doing actually. Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay. So this is one for Stoichea actually. Nice. We're getting all the nations over here. So time for Morikawa to shine. Yep. Morikawa can now shine right now because there's a right deck for it, and Bastion is like the perfect thing for it as well. Lyrical Monastery will come in August in the Box 3 Japan. Oh, okay. If the rumors have come up from mid, then yeah, it could be the case from there. So because I do remember that they mentioned something about a what's that? They mentioned something about a premium collection coming out soon, and rumor was it was in August as well. So it could be similar to like what we're getting in May, where we're getting both at the same time, that sort of thing. But yeah, so by the way, how was the match between start decks? Which start decks are you specifically asking about? Because between the whole lot that we played within the first 2 weeks, matchups are actually pretty quite even across the board as well. Granted, there are some decks that feels a bit stronger than the others, but that because comes down to battle experience and just your judgment call at that point in time. So, but beyond that, right? Actually, all of them are actually balanced out pretty well. So yeah, Keta Century prayed to Morikawa. They're definitely getting another grade 3 in there for sure. So, Brain said, according to some people, Keta is better in 0. Keta is better in 0. You mean Vanguard 0 or was that a typo? So I'll wait until you reply on that. So in the meantime, yeah, so Stoichea deck. this is interesting. Okay, playing with the Stoichia over trigger here as well. Although there are some people that are actually choosing to play with Oberia, the original, not say the original, the over trigger that you get in the start decks actually. So because you want that 200 million to go to 2 different units, and you can ideally choose Charis for it to make that Snorlax fly. So yeah, so since grade 3s are triggers. Oh, although some people it's better since grade 3s are 0, all of them also. Okay, so if you're talking about Vanguard 0 in that case, right? Yes, you could, but I think you have a lot more flexibility in the actual game than you would in 0, because while you are checking grade 3s and then you restand one of your units, you put it in 0 context, right? Your whole deck cannot be grade 3s. Your whole deck has to have 13 grade 3s only, and then after that 13 grade 2s and 13 grade 1s. So you don't have the luxury of checking your grade 3s over and over. So so in the actual Overdress here, if you play the actual card game over here, your whole entire deck can be grade 3s, and they all can just be triggers for Bastion. So so a lot of things that actually go for them. So all of them. So yeah, I see what the comparison is like. So, but it's more of a comparison rather than like say, oh, this deck will work better in 0, because if I think about it, I don't think it will, because of the system of Vanguard 0. Like, yeah, your grade 3s are considered your triggers and you can restand them, but it's only a third of your deck. It's only a third of your deck that's the case. So all of them is all the start decks also. Yeah, so if you're asking about comparisons between the start decks, if you're asking about comparisons between all the start decks together at once, the matches between all of them are actually quite fine. So there's really nothing noteworthy to point out. So we all just sat around, had a good time, just playing with all the decks and just kind of having as much fun as we possibly can. So, but now with the BT that's coming out, we're all looking to boost up, and we're all looking to get more points in the Overdress League, as well as just having a lot more fun in tournament plays as well. Which, if you guys are if you guys are unaware, we're actually hosting a online tournament on Discord. The link will be up sometime soon. But yeah, this coming Friday, 8 p.m. GMT plus 8, we will be hosting a tournament. And you guys can compete for the DBT01, the Japanese booster set in there. So yeah, see from there. So Magnolia, the Stoichia one, is better with crit. According to this over here, if you look at Stoichia, right, they are playing with more crits actually. So it's kind of like criticals are better in general because of their capabilities to be able to attack from the back row. They may not have a lot of power, but then again, front triggers wouldn't work for like say Charis or Lattice, especially if they're able to attack from the back row, and especially for this one as well. So you want to have power, and over trigger will be one way of doing it, but then, you know, having an extra critical for that front row unit, or maybe even the Charis and the Lattice at the back row attacking, or any units attacking the back row, that critical will actually be much more helpful. So can I take a little page that you got the deck list on? It's not a deck list on, but you can search for Last Final 05. So I'm not able to post it over here. So, but yeah, Last Final, you can search up Last Finale 05, and you guys will be able to come to this Twitter page. And then yeah, this is where I'm getting all the information from. So I'm interested in the hybrid deck list. So yeah, that's what I've been doing for the past week or so. So yeah. By the way, if you would make ranking in the 10 right lines, please make it. So if you want us to rank the 10 right lines, we can. So give me a moment, because let me just switch out the windows, because we got Leon here. Hi, Leon.
I'm so sorry, I was at work again, so yeah.
No worries. Alright, so I'm gonna have to be on this side holding the table up. No, we were just going through we went through the information that we got from the live stream, and now we're just looking at some of the deck builds that we've been seeing online on Twitter, and stuff that has been actually topping decks, topping tournaments rather. So.
Oh, okay, yes. There's been a lot of interesting builds these days ever since Overdress started, actually.
Interesting as well. And we're going through some that I went to the specific. I realized that the ones that we've been seeing, right, have actually been liked by one of the Twitter users that we actually follow on our Twitter page. So I went to their Twitter page, and then I'm just seeing all the decks that they have been retweeting and posting. So it's quite nice to see it. So then I just saw one for Stoichia playing 7 crits and such. This is actually not bad. I was just about to look at Zorga. So, but I think the interesting one that I found was Well, not say interesting enough, so, but the meme is alive and well, which you'll be able to see here soon, Leon. Let me just scroll up there. The meme is alive and well. No, not the Honeydew. The Morikawa deck.
Oh, Morikawa. Hi.
Hi, Leon. Hi. Yep, so... Oh,
Dempster is up.
and we got
right.
Dempster. All of us are here, so...
Three Stooges is finally together.
Yes.
Oh yeah, no problem.
Yeah, I'm actually like in the middle of something right now, but I decided to drop by because it's been too long. I'm refreshing my dailies.
Yes, make this
My
part of
sister's
it.
like, yeah.
Yes, make this part of it as well. So, but yeah, anyways, yeah, we're just going through the stuff. We're just going through some of the deck builds that has been posted on Twitter. Just stuff that people have been playing in local tournaments and such. So then, yeah, you can see it on Discord as I scroll through it. So yeah, I already went through the news.
By the way,
yeah.
For that, Kaiso, don't worry about it. You're welcome. Solo has helped you. Reached out to you today. So yeah, glad they helped.
Yep.
And
So
back to the
yep. So Brain actually said that if we can, we should make a 10 ranking of all the right lines.
Oh yeah, top 10 right lines of 2021 for Overdress. Yeah, that's actually quite a good idea.
No. Just these first 10. Just these first 10.
Oh, this first 10.
This first 10. So I think we should rank. I think we should rank them. So maybe we can do an official video on it. So yeah, I mean,
we can.
yeah, we can do an official video on it. So we will deal with it from there. So yeah. Just looking through. What we were talking about earlier was the meme is real. Because the Morikawa deck is now very 100% real. I just lost it. Oh, there it is. Oh no, I lost it. Oh no, I lost it.
It is a Kenta deck, right?
Yeah, it's a Kenta deck.
I mean, what
Yeah,
other deck
okay.
can it be?
It could be a Spike Brother. Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, yeah, it could be a Spike Brothers thing as well. Here it is. Everything except your PG and your right line is grade 3.
Oh shit.
Is there a post in Dempster's deck for Keta? Dempster's deck for Keta has not been built yet.
Yeah, soon.
Very
I'll
soon.
get to it once I get the parts.
Yep. So yeah. But if he's featured in the fight video, which he will be at some point, yeah, you can find the deck profile for that very soon. So yeah. Honeydew best chain. Subjective.
No. To be honest, right? Sorry. To be honest, right? Strasno definitely has one of the best right chains. Definitely one of the best because it's so consistent.
Yeah. Actually, to be honest, right, once I've actually played it for a while, I realized that Sarah Snow's right line, right, while it is consistent and good, it is very like one trick pony. There's nothing else you can do. I mean, it does help kickstart the whole horny chill thingy, for like a better term. But at the end of the day, right, that's all it does. And you really can't do anything else other than it. You need that specific lineup in order to do something until Sarah Snow comes out.
Well, no,
and even so, right.
Yeah.
And even so, right, you also have to. It also depends on who you are fighting against. Because if I play, like, say for example, if I play against Leon, right, it's easier for me to hit the 3 minimum for the triple drive as well for Sarah Snow because of Overdress. But for other decks, right, for other builds, it would be a bit different, really. Yeah, that's how I feel about the right chain. It's good, but like not 100% the best.
And as I present to you, this is the hybrid deck that has been topping Japanese card shop tournaments. Which is actually, the right line is Office, and after that you actually will play Sarah Snow afterwards. So you're manually so that's why you have 4 copies of characters here. Because you want to manually search them out so that you can actually play them down when you need to play them down. So
more like can only manually fish them out. There's no way I think in Office's build there is no way of bringing out characters, I think.
No, there is no way. You have to manually fish it. So yeah, so like I just realized that this is actually a no draw trigger deck.
Yeah, because you don't need to.
No.
Yeah, it's a full front.
No, it's 7 front 4 crit.
Yeah, 7
front 4 crit.
sorry, 7 front 4 crit, yeah. Yeah, Cap, help me save this image. I want.
Yeah, I'll send you the link later. I'll send you the link later.
All the deck makers here.
All the deck madness over here. So
I need some inspirations.
yeah. Okay. Well, I have you guys here, so let me ask you guys about the cards of the day, so because I went through over it. So, Leon, we'll start with you. Blaze Maiden Mirin. When your unit with the Overdress ability attacks, by putting this card into the soul, choose one of your units with the Overdress ability, and they get plus 5k.
Alright, yeah, I saw this card the other day. I can only say it's not super helpful. It's okay, I guess.
But it's nice because you have in my opinion, it's nice because you have the choice of choosing who you want to give plus 5k to.
Yeah. But here's the kicker. I already have more than enough power here. You fought me, you know that. So the numbers, right? Okay, the problem with Balrina is that all power, no pressure.
All power, no pressure.
It's easy for you to creep numbers. Very easy. Problem is that no pressure.
There's no
a
pressure.
Resending doesn't mean anything. There is no other pressure to push it other than it's big.
Yeah. Like how everyone says, the power can be infinite, but you still take 1 damage.
Unless
it's not like the Su, the Zero Dragon, power 99999 on the
that one is a proper threat.
Yeah.
Then.
But in this case,
I mean, if you manage to get the crit with the drive check also, then yeah lah. I mean, you can.
That's not enough. That's still not enough to convince me. That is still like luck.
I'm not convincing you. I'm just playing the devil's advocate here. So.
Yeah, there is no devil advocate either because it is the truth. It is like that. Because if you have to rely on the trigger, right? That's not pressure anymore.
I'm saying if you get it.
Yeah.
I'm saying if you get it.
Yes, but I'm saying that even in the situation, because we're taking into account of the trigger, then it's not consistent. If it's not consistent, then there is no pressure.
I feel that this strategy, while it is okay for simple builds, like just to focus on power beatdown, it doesn't really offer much on the table if you ask me. Because I mean, at the very least, okay, you can move into a soul. You've got extra ammo for soul blast in the next turn, but the chances are you wouldn't want there to be a next turn if you use this card. You'll most likely want to bring him down. Otherwise, the 5k really is kind of moot lah. And like Leon said, there's no pressure at all. Having to rely on trigger for this one particular card, right, is a bit too RNG on RNG really.
And it's not like Dragonic Overlord or the end or the standard variants where it's gonna be a guaranteed restand. Because right now, the problem about Barina is that it still requires a on hit ability. So and that still costs you 1 counter blast. So again, you may or may not end up using this because you're weighing between using Nirvana and using Barina. So it may not even happen. So then again, back to no pressure.
Okay lah. Then what about this one over here? This one is for Eugene. For the turn, this unit gets plus 5k. And if your opponent has a front row rear guard, this unit cannot attack the Vanguard.
This is a Narukami thing, and this is kind of just shooting yourself in because.
Wait, what? If your opponent has a rear guard in the front row, this unit cannot attack the Vanguard.
Yeah,
Alright. So I already asked the chat about this also, so I'll ask you straight, Leon. What if you use this card right as your... What if I told you that this card seems ideal for Eugene's rest 2 rear guards?
Just so that you can blow something up Eugene plus 5k and then he doesn't have to care about it.
But between resting something, like say a grade 1 booster that can add to Randor, that gets plus 5k when you soul charge 1 plus 5k when you counterblast 1, like you can just rest this. You can just rest this unit and then rest another unit, maybe another copy of him, and after that you get your blow up without any qualms about what you are giving up.
Okay. Let us go through the script one more time. Okay, so during your turn, this card plus 5k, and your opponent has some rear guards in the front row. This card cannot attack the Vanguard, right?
Yes, if your opponent has a rear guard in the front row, he cannot attack.
Yeah, then this card can attack the Vanguard. Okay. So tell me, why would you do that?
Well, I'm just saying that they designed this. I'm just saying that I believe the design philosophy of this card is to give you something that's a bit more ideal to use to pay for the cost of Eugene.
The thing is that this guy at least can still attack the rear guard. You just don't attack the Vanguard. So if you were to rest this, right, you kind of like also again shooting yourself.
Yeah, but I'm not
I'm
not putting this in the front row. I'm just putting this behind to rest.
If anything, to be honest, it could be any time. That's the case.
Yeah, I mean, but then you won't have to think about, oh, but then, you know, I could have a booster on this end so that this attack can be stronger.
Well, yeah, that's the thing, you see. Then you might as well not have anything at the back. So it's actually no difference. But instead, I'd rather want this in the front because he has a plus 5.
Yeah, because he's free. It's a free plus 5.
Yeah, then you can swing the... Yes, then you can swing the front row, right? So why would you want to put this in the back in the first place?
No, I'm not saying put it in the back. You put this in the back behind a unit. No. What I'm saying is that you put this behind because this unit cannot attack the Vanguard because there's a front row rear guard. So if there's a front row rear guard, this thing cannot attack. You can attack the rear if you want to, but then you can put another unit in front that has a similar power base, like say Ranbu, because even though it's count +1, you still get a 15k attacker from there, and so that unit can attack the Vanguard unconditionally.
Yes, I understand, but again, the problem is why? I mean you could because cannot attack the Vanguard, just replace it.
So
but
that's why I presented to you. So
could have been anything else.
To be honest, right, for triple rare, I mean, assuming this is the only rarity they're going.
No rarity. It's the only rarity.
Either way, it honestly doesn't live up to the triple R if you ask me. Because I can see a few other alternatives that are technically better than this card.
There is already a lot of alternatives as well in this card.
Yeah, so it's like they're printing this for why, you know?
Yeah,
even though it is the Eugene, right? I still think there are better cards to play with Eugene than this.
Yeah, that's the thing, you see. Based on Cap's idea is that, because this thing cannot attack the Vanguard, I can just push it to the back. Then
which is understandable, yeah.
Yeah, which is understandable, but why don't I just use the rear guys to blow up things in the front?
Yeah.
And then this guy can just go ahead and swing.
Yeah.
I mean, you just can't swing the Vanguard, but you can still swing the rear guard. So 15k, okay lah. I mean, you know, it's not bad. But there are others that, you know, can do the same thing without any restrictions.
Yeah. The Cap's point is that, right, because this thing already cannot attack the rear guard, so you want to swing the Vanguard that turn, then you must just score. But the point is that it doesn't actually make any difference.
Well, you heard it here, folks. So yeah.
If you ask me,
right.
I would have better play something else.
Right. Bray says, by the way, why the base power of the new Dragon Empire is the base power of a PG? I just realized this. Do you mean? You mean this card? Yeah, it's a 6k. Yeah, why the base power? Because the idea is that it's supposed to be... The way I see this card being played, right, is you put it behind Nirvana. You boost Nirvana. Then you attack your two sides with Virina or Virina Valiant. Maybe both at the same time as well. You attack with Virina. Then, depending on the situation, you can actually move this into the soul. And after that, get plus 5k. You won't be losing all too much. Alternatively, you can also put this behind the Virina, attack with that. Don't activate the skill, attack with Virina Valiant. Then you can move this into the soul. And then, you know, you'll be able to that. The reason why it's 6k, right, it's supposed to be negligible. So it's something that you can just completely like not care about, because the power difference between moving into the soul and keeping it out there is non-existent. It's just positioning from that point in time. So yeah.
So if you ask me between these two cards, right, the Blaze Maiden is actually a bit more situational. But the Blaze Maiden, in terms of playstyle, right, it's not that helpful. But the Dragon, this dynasty, this T-Rex thing is still good.
That's a
because he's still.
Oh, it is.
It's a T-Rex thing.
It's a dino, yeah.
Because he can still swing 15k. Because usually after your main attack, you just swing the guy. Because you want to corner him. That's the thing. Unless it's the 5th damage and it's captured, I'll move it to that.
Yeah. By the way, that's his name, if you haven't read it, is Hungersaurus. So he's basically an armored devil.
I'm glad his skill is not as overwhelming.
Yeah. I see. Yeah. So anyways, so we move on to the Brand Gate one. So this one was released earlier today. Spark Lemon, Aurora Battle Princess Spark Lemone. When this unit, so when this unit attack hits, you choose 2 cards for your opponent's. Leon has talked about this. You choose 2 cards for your opponent's drop zone and put them in prison.
Just what I need, lah.
I hate this card so much with a burning passion.
I mean, okay, to be fair, it has the hit. Although it didn't say specifically what. Unfortunately, it doesn't say specifically what.
Yep.
But it still has on hits, right? So it's either you lose 2 cards from your drop zone to the prison, or you're forced to guard. There's
a catch. There is a catch. Whatever you fetch back from your opponent's drop zone, they can get it back by paying the bail cost.
Yeah, definitely. That's for sure.
Yeah. So that's the way I say this is like kind of like a blessing and a curse.
Okay, excuse me. Sorry. Okay, to be fair, right, as of now, maybe, okay, this is before the DBT01 cards come in, okay? Just the stun deck alone, right? What Stellar Snow severely lacks is rearguard presence. Because you look at all the grade 2s and grade 3s that can come in, right? Okay, we've got one which is Security Patroller. Come out, Soul Blast 1, Imprison 1. That's all it does. It's got nothing else left already. So that very turn, right, is just a 10k beat stick, and after that next turn, either intercept, follow, or whatsoever. Another one is the, I forgot what's the name for the grade 3. On hit, Imprison, I think 2? Or 1, I can't remember.
Prison
the
1.
On hit one.
Imprison 2.
Yeah. On hit, Imprison 2 rearguards. It's good, but it comes at a cost of not being able to intercept because it's a grade 3. And at the same time, if your opponent has nothing on the field to retire to imprison, right, the card is useless already. Then we go back to Reset Pink. Reset Pink is good as a rearguard because it's an auto 12k attacker, as long as you have something in prison.
Auto 12k
and
power.
Her on right skill is good because you send 1 free card from your opponent's hand to prison. But that's it. She has nothing else to offer after that. So she's quite underwhelming as a rearguard. So this is actually quite helpful. No power, that's fine. But it has the on-hit threat and it doesn't matter what you hit. Hit rearguard. If it hits, even better. Imprison 2 automatically from the drop zone some more, which is confirmed chock full of cards.
As the joke that Leon made on Twitter, so dead or alive, you're coming with me. I know. I already prepared the video, and that is gonna be in the recap video. So you can see which unit that I'm gonna be putting opposite this card. So.
Wait, what did Ben say? Leon and themselves with that card, it's getting bigger. What is that?
The card is getting bigger. So. Also, by the way,
that's supposed to.
Andrew got 2 Naga Medullas and a Wyvern Gem. Nice. Be careful crossing the road though.
You don't want truck to Isekayu.
You know, right? The thing about it is that this is exactly what I'm talking about. Like the on-hit pressure without any supporting factor from external factors.
Yeah.
Like drive check, all this kind of thing. You cannot rely on those. This is exactly what I mean by consistent pressure. So if opponent no rearguards, no problem with your drop zone instead. And then yes, your opponent can call things back from the prison. But if they are forced to guard, means there's more likely to be triggers inside. Then you block the triggers to that's what the trigger is.
Yeah.
Exactly. You give them lesser reason to call things back.
Yeah. I mean, you can choose trigger units to put into the prison from there. So at which point you'll be kind of moot for him. So then he'll be wasting resources just to empty out what Sarah Snow can do. So.
Not just that also. During your opponent's turn, they'll be forced to target this one first because this is a much bigger threat to them. They will raise resources to direct everything to this.
But as I'm pointing out as a blessing and a curse, because what if your only choice is usable units that the opponent can actually pay the cost to bail out? Because here's the thing, while we are in the era of the right deck, you'll probably be discarding units like normal units in order to ride up. You wouldn't be discarding your trigger units as well. Late game, yes, you definitely 100% be putting trigger units in the prison, but in the early game, you'll probably be putting stuff that they will want to use in the future turns for the prison. So that's why I say this card is a bit of a blessing and a curse, lah. So because while you may suffer from risking your opponent actually being able to fetch back cards he can actually use in the early turns, at the same time also you'll be able to actually feel power for Sarah Snow during the battle phase.
the reason. Yeah, this is the reason. Yeah, that's actually what I was thinking also. But this is also the reason why you do not play this card anytime. There is a certain timing involved when having to play this and maximize her utility. You don't call her out when she's like, I don't know, when you're on grade 2. Only when Sarah Snow comes out and you are confident that you can get enough cards. Hit the three cards already, never mind, it's okay. You need more cards in the prison. Then you just use this. So she doesn't come and go whenever she pleases. She comes when the time is needed. That's how I see it. That's how this card is played.
In addition, right, even though yes, your opponent can end up choosing to call cards they can use, but here's the thing: your resources against her resources. She has no resources consumption. She just punches you and call it a day.
Yeah.
And then Sarah Snow is 1 counterblast for 2 cards, and so are you. And they have a counter charger that just moves and just goes into so. And you don't.
I mean, you choose to pay that, of course. Which I don't see why you would not. I mean.
Yeah. So that's the kicker right there. You see, the trade-off is that I'm trading you for 1 counterblast without using my Sarah Snow's counterblast. There's no requirements. And I can afford to over prison you. Like a third term, to over prison to prison as many units as possible within the same turn, to make you choose what you have to pick up.
Correct.
So it makes your dilemma bigger and still keeps Sarah Snow with constant power.
Just don't forget, during that turn, right? That turn really matters. Really, they cannot afford to waste too much.
Correct. Exactly. So this is a very powerful card.
Brain says that all we need is a card from deck that can put the prison and Sarah Snow will be OP. Send the top card of your deck to the prison. So
I mean,
this is exactly what Narukami needed, but they didn't give the option to choose.
Correct.
Yep. By the way, the show they released the 2 promos on Alco Force and Mega Collar. You did not show it yet, so yes, I haven't actually. So because I wasn't able to find it, well, at least not here, so but it was covered by others as well, which includes Freedom as well. Hang on, let me just see if I can find it. Hopefully I didn't trigger anybody. I don't know what happened to you. Yeah, so here are these 2. So when this unit attack at the end of battle, this unit attack the Vanguard. If it is the first battle of the turn, by counterblast 1 and send this unit to the bottom of the deck. You look at the top 3 cards, choose 1 and call it to an extra additional regard circle, and then you send the rest to the bottom of the deck in any order. So for Alco Force, I think somebody made a joke saying wet paladins, because I was like, what is this gold paladin bullcrap? Like, what is this gold paladin bullcrap in Alco Force? And after that, it was pointed out to me as I was watching some of the other Vanguard YouTubers that this one is actually similar to Argos. The one that came from the Leon Trodek.
Yeah.
This is similar in nature. So the idea is that you probably can... you won't be able to cycle between the 2, but it's supposed to get you more units to attack with additional regard circles as well. So, and ideally, right, because you send him to bottom and deck, if he's in the XL circle, right, you can guarantee yourself having the additional regard circle to call that unit on as well. So, yeah, this guy is actually really, really, really nice also. And then after that, the one for Mega Colony. So when this unit is placed on the Vanguard or Regard circle, by paying counterblast 1, you pay counterblast 1, then after that choose one of your opponent's Regards with the Cradle marker on it, and then hang on, and put another Cradle marker on it if I'm not mistaken as well.
Choose a unit that does not, choose an opposing Rearguard that does not have a Cradle marker on it. Then you put 1 Cradle marker on it. And if you can't choose, draw 1.
Thank you. Yep, so you get to draw 1 if you can't put a Cradle marker. If you can choose a Regard and that does not have a Cradle marker, you put a Cradle marker on it. So, and then continuous in the Vanguard Regard circle. For the turn, if your opponent has a Cradle marker on, has a Regard with Cradle marker on it, this unit gets plus 6k power. So this is quite nice. It adds quite a bit of functionality to Gradora and to the Cradle mechanic that's in Premium. So, V Premium.
Yeah.
So yeah, Daedalus says that actually Alco Force has 3 units with the same skill, but bound to the wave keyword released in Alco Force Clan Booster as well. We are specifically looking at in terms of like V series or rather V Premium right now and V Standard. Like not a lot of units actually in the V series actually has a skill whereby if you attack first, you send it back to the deck, then you search your deck for another unit and call it out to the circle. So while Argo Force has a lot of units, as you mentioned, 3 units with the same skill, those are bound to the wave mechanic, and that's in premium. When we talk about V standard, there's actually not a lot of cards that have this capability. So that's why they're releasing another unit that has this capability right now. So which is alright actually. It doesn't feel like a very strong change. It's a good promo, but not something that you can live without. So similar to this one for Mega Colony. So and this was revealed as promos for during the live stream as well. So thank you, Brian.
But he's still better than Eugene. He's still better than Eugene.
Man. Man.
Eugene, because Aquaforce has a Eugene also, you know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Aquaforce
everything is better than Eugene.
All Eugenes, apparently. Personally attacking all the Eugenes out there.
Personally attacking all the Eugenes out there. So please forgive us all the Eugenes that come across this video.
The thing is that like I don't really hate Eugene. It's just that he's so specific. He's under such a very specific condition to work.
Yeah.
And then it's not even his soul was a problem. You know, just generally the way that he functions. It's just funny.
Yeah. Neodala says, yeah, we Argo Force players are still crying about the Grade 2 promo for Tavas, so yeah, I feel
oh yeah, it never came out, right?
It never came out. So in English, I think it didn't come out in English. If I'm not mistaken.
I think so.
Yeah. So yeah. So anyways, we did mention that the Twitter page for Cardfight Vanguard actually reached 20k subs, and Overdress hasn't been released in their language yet, or rather in English yet. So yeah, congrats to them also. They actually made it up to there. So Andrew says,
yes.
Yeah.
Do you want a sound effect for that? I have the perfect one for it. I'm not sure if you guys can hear it, but you can know one. Let me open it.
Well, booty shot of my character landing the finishing blow. Alright, game, I'll take it.
There we go. You guys ready?
Ready.
20k subs, right? 20k followers for Vanguard's Twitter, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Congratulations. Alamak. Wrong place. You guys heard it, right?
Yeah, we heard it. One thing to mention, apparently Japan may be declaring it, a possible third state of emergency. So their Daivaga side might end up being cancelled. They have to consider whether they should cancel because of the third state of emergency.
Please go online.
Yeah, they may be looking into considerations for it also, but we will know more news about it coming soon also. In fact, actually, I think
I thought he was gonna say that Japan is gonna declare final turn. My brain.
Well, with the way they are thinking right now, it might as well be. Right. This is the third state of emergency in less than 2 years, you know.
Yeah. I'm actually surprised that you haven't had 3 times.
Well, the thing is, okay, I mean, that's all politics and everything, so we shouldn't talk about it here.
Yeah, before we get hit by YouTube.
You won't get by YouTube, we get hit by Japan. That's worse. What if they ban us and never let us play Vanguard ever again? Must think. Cannot.
Battle Spirits then.
What if Battle Spirits also? Let me GG, we go play Pokemon. Oh, but Pokemon also in Japan. Oh, well, Magic it is.
Magic is like, no, we don't do that here, so.
We don't do that.
But yeah, so it is troubling to know that Japan is going through a third state of emergency also. But it's because that just goes to show why it's important to wash your wash. According to Potato. According to Potato.
Wash your wash, everybody.
Yes. So yeah. Anyways, I asked everybody as well. You guys. I asked everybody who they would like to see talking with us here on our discussion streams because we like to invite some guests in. So and then we had people mention one person that I kind of want to get in, which I think is possible, might be Aegis Mark II, because we have talked to him. Like interacted with him on socials. We haven't really had a sit down and talk with him. So I think that's one person that we probably want to invite in just to have a discussion. Yeah. There are other people that I mentioned like Ray's as well, but he's not a YouTuber, but he's actually a player, so that's somebody we can get in. Other people have mentioned other people have mentioned Different Fight, which we can easily get. Not say easily get, so we can easily talk to and ask. Solemn Vanguard and Vanguard Insider. I definitely would want to bring Vanguard Insider. I do want to have a chat with Mr. Time Leap one of these days or so. because I would love to kind of like get his opinion on things also. So yeah, these are, again, as I mentioned, I will do my best to reach out to these people and ask them whether they'd be willing to join us for these discussion streams that we have, just so that we can have a more dynamic sort of chat in terms of what we saw over the weekend, you know, like kind of what to expect. So for Vanguard going forward anyway. So Brain says, by the way, spoiler alert, in the third episode you see Baron Magnus.
Oh yeah, we already watched episode.
You watched it already?
We watched it like earlier last month.
I haven't.
On Saturday. We watched on Saturday. Oh, sorry.
I haven't. Yeah. I haven't.
Too bad.
Yeah.
Spoilers.
Don't worry. So, oops, hang on. Sorry. Hey, what?
But I mean, that's all we're gonna say anyway. Like,
no, it's okay.
What happens inside there?
It's okay. I know I'm late, and so you know I'm not bugged about spoilers or anything, because of the fact that there should be a day limit in terms of spoilers. Like, you know, there should be a day limit for spoilers. So it's like, you know, for a TV show, if you haven't seen it within 2 days, you are eligible for being spoiled. That means you don't have the right to really bitch and moan about spoilers. And it's been long past 2 days for a TV show, so I should not really be complaining that you know, oh, spoilers, why are you telling me spoilers? You know, that sort of thing. So, yeah. So pretty much so. Yeah. What were we talking about again? Oh yeah, right. Yeah. We were talking about this also. We forgot to talk about this one for Office.
Twin Press Smasher.
Twin Press Smasher. So once per turn, act rear guard circle. Counterblast 1, rest this unit. Choose one of opponent's front row rear guards and retire it. Designed for Office, but I can see this in Zero Snow.
No, it's generic.
No.
Yeah, it's
very
generic.
generic.
Yeah, it's generic. So.
It's more for premium.
That's true. And
it's premiumable.
And pointed out by someone's in our chat. So like this could be potential stuff that we may see for maybe other right lines in the second booster.
Maybe, yes.
Maybe, yeah. So
it could be a support.
Which leaves me very puzzled about this one for Dark States. When this unit is placed on the rear guard circle, if you have 5 or more cards in your soul, by discarding one card from your hand, choose one of your opponent's back row rear guards and retire it.
Huh?
Yeah, that's what I said. That's what I said.
What an oddly specific thing. What is it called again?
Degraded
Age Dragon.
Yep. So you put this into putting this into Baron Magnus, which already has a very strong removal at 15 souls, which you should be able to achieve on an easier basis. So like, this is at best an early way to remove cards from the back row. So which in the early write-ups it wouldn't be the case. It's only like if you are running turn 7 and you still don't have 50 cards in the soul for some odd reason. So yeah.
No, it's basically it's still a good support. I mean, extra retire is always healthy. I mean, by early game, you want to put your opponent down as soon as possible. Sometimes you may not draw into the things that you require, so this is the alternative.
True. Neo Dedala says that I think they just want to give more clans more access to retire in general. So yeah, considering that this one does have it does have uses in premium, so maybe something like this may find more longevity in premium than they would in Overdress at this point in time also. So yeah.
The irony is that everyone except Dragon.
Yeah. In a way also. Okay. Then we go over to this one. Somehow I can never escape the name Jared. Diablo's boy's Jared. Leon and Debs knows why. So once per turn, execute Collabs 1 soul plus 1. Choose one of your units with Diablos in its name and it gets plus 10k. This is actually quite good because you got quite a good number of targets to attach this to. So. Then after that, the auto skill, when this unit attacks, if you're in final rush for that battle, your opponent cannot intercept.
Oh,
that last one is a little negligible also because it only applies just for his battle alone. But you apply plus 10, but that plus 10k, right, you can apply to himself, to Violence Bruce, to Eden, which is the ideal target, and even to say Bad Steve as well, because you can get Bad Steve to go from 13 to 23 as an attacker or as a booster.
Yeah. But I think it's quite useful as an attacker also, because that means he attacks twice.
No, he only attacks once.
You don't have to worry.
He attacks one. Yeah, he attacks twice.
Yeah, he can attack twice potentially. So as long as he's got the power, actually even 10k and a booster behind is good enough already. You're forcing you can just forgo your opponent's rear guards and just go straight for the Vanguard. You'll be forced to guard it eventually, no matter what.
Like I said, it's quite the plus 10k. He's got an ideal number of targets that he can actually give that plus 10k to, and they all will be good choices regardless.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Right.
Right. What do you think? Yeah.
It's good. Generally speaking, it's a good card. It helps to support whether it's a Vanguard or rear guard, because it just says simply by name. And one soul and one Collabs, and it works in conjunction together with the big victory. If this is a burst turn, it can really bring up the numbers. And his second ability is also pretty irritating, because hands is already quite scarce when it comes to guarding, and then now you're forced to not intercept, which is kind of like it's a better version of Steel Dragon. And it actually works because you don't want you don't want your opponent to push things in.
And he can restand as well, so thanks to Violence Boost. Kyle says that, man, I wish that Touken Ranbu was a real nation and not just a collab, because after looking at the anime, I'm hyped. Brian also agrees with him, so yeah. I think a lot of people are looking back at Touken Ranbu after the announcement of the release.
Yeah. Before we continue, right, just want to say that you guys, not in case you guys missed it, we are actually having a tournament on this coming Sunday. Yeah. Just quickly interject on it before we continue.
Oh, Sunday.
Yes, this coming Sunday. Yes, this coming Sunday we are actually having the Format Japan tournament, which gives you a prize of one Japanese DVD or one if you are playing Japanese, or 10 packs, second place for 10 packs, and one third place for 6 packs. Yes,
absolutely.
And we need as many players as possible.
So
and the entry fee is 5 SG.
Yep. And even if you're not in Singapore, but you do have a Japanese deck, you can still compete in this because it's an online tournament. So feel free to jump on, have a little bit of fun, win a few prizes, and yeah, it's gonna be a good Sunday if you guys jump in. So.
Yes, GMT plus 8, guys. 8 p.m. at GMT plus 8 for those of you who are not in Singapore. Please calculate the time zone.
We are GMT plus 8, so basically in the UK, it's actually 12 noon. So like you plus and minus your hours based on your GMT. So yeah. So or UTC rather. So right. Neil de Dallas says, one thing that I really like about Premium, unlike in V, the decks don't just completely build themselves. You have choices to make and retire skills that can be good to adapt to your meta. So yeah, that's absolutely 100% true. So in D, not Premium. So yeah, one thing I like in D is that you do have the choices of choosing your right lines, choosing what you have in your deck. So and the accessibility of right deck is really, really powerful. So it's a nice addition, and it really opens up a lot of freedom to deck builds also, which is one of the things we praised about the right deck being in place when it was first announced. So yeah, absolutely. So ISL, is Touken Ranbu coming back in Vanguard? Absolutely, 100% yes. And they revealed the trial deck and revealed the booster. It's coming out on the 22nd of May. So you'll be able to get your hand on the trial deck, which the right line features Kashu Kiyomitsu. And then after that, you can get the booster that's coming out in there, which features the other members in Touken Ranbu as well. So yeah, we can look forward to that also. And going forward, right, these discussion streams will be talking about the Touken Ranbu stuff, because that's what they actually be talking about in the coming weeks or so, until the release comes up. So yeah, do stick to this channel, do stick to CVGS for more information, and also to our Twitch as well if you want to catch the announcements live as well. So Brain says, by the way, if I plan to Gize in the Overdress, which nation would be good for it? If you plan to build Gize, Cattle Sanctuary.
Why?
Because of Hexer Orb Sorceress.
Because you can predict, right? You can adjust according to the strategy.
Yep. Because to activate Gize, right, you have to check triggers.
Yeah. I know.
So
if that's the case, why not place the summon? Okay, but in D then they're jacket now.
Yeah, if you're building purely from D Overdress with Gizzy as your first Vanguard, so then I would say you will want to build Hexo Ops Sorceress. So maybe not Bastion, but yeah, Hexo Ops Sorceress 100%.
Easy as your first Vanguard. Alright,
Kazuo Aizawa says, and since Touken come back, my friend have another 50 husband again. So yeah, I've got one friend that has an entire right line dedicated for her. Although she hasn't responded yet, so because I don't know, she hasn't responded yet, so I don't know if she's seen it or not, or cares about it. So but it's been a long time. So anyways, Andrew says, well, a free break to my poor wallet, thank goodness. Wait, hold on just yet, because in this same month we are getting the what's that? We are getting the special series, the festival collection. There is some new cards, but if you don't want them, you don't have to get them. So, but I think it would be good to have them also on board, just in case DBT02 comes around. So, which surprisingly, I put up a poll yesterday. At the end of the live stream. A bit later than usual, but we got 117 votes, and most people are saying, can we see some DBT02 stuff blocks?
No, they won't do it.
Not now, so yeah. but it shows people's interest levels in Touken, Ranbu, and Monster Strike as well. So, but I think going forward, once we learn more news about what to expect from the two collab sets, right, we might have some hit turners here, and maybe not necessarily people who buy, but people who have to pay attention to this just in case they come up against the deck and they don't know what's going on. So yeah.
Yeah.
Let's ask, have they announced, do we get Touken, Ranbu and Monster Strike in English? There's no information just yet, but it was pointed out to me by one of you guys that Touken, Ranbu is going to have an English release. The game itself is actually going to have an English release. So it could be in conjunction with Hype for that release. So Vanguard will have that collab going forward. So I think Touken, Ranbu might be yes. Monster Strike maybe a yes as well, but we have to wait until official confirmation from the official pages themselves also, from official sources rather. So, but the fact that they're translating all the Touken, Ranbu cards here during the live stream, there may be a good chance that we might be seeing them in English. So yeah, you can keep your hopes up. So I'd say you can keep your hopes up. Kyle says premium Touken, Ranbu, let's go. Yeah, you can make premium Touken, Ranbu, so as long as you have all the old cards from there. Neil Della says, in English, we are already missing one set of Touken, Ranbu. I think it's a set that is...
Hanamaru.
Wasn't it the two special sets?
Touken, Ranbu, Hanamaru, and the Toku sets.
So...
I think those are the ones that didn't come out in English.
I think that I think English not getting them, I think it's okay. Because you're getting new cards in the set over here, and unless you're playing in premium, right, I don't think there's many cards in those sets, right, that you would want to use over the Overdress.
Okay, not the 2%. Not the special set, it's the Hanamaru set. That was the only one they didn't get. Yeah.
Yep.
The Wise Watch one.
The Wise Watch. Yeah, that's the set I had in mind also. So I think if you were to build a deck, right, even in premium also, I think you'll be using the stuff from the booster set, the Overdress booster set more so than you would the premium stuff. So maybe missing out might be okay lah. So you wouldn't be missing out too much, because the new stuff that you're getting from this set might be worth more your while than trying to source for the older ones also, especially since they are limited print and potentially owned by people who are unwilling to let them go. Give or take. So, Justin Riva, we're gonna stream which starter best for new players. I would say the Dragon Empire deck is one of the best starter decks out there. It's easy. It's easy to comprehend and good to understand. If you want to venture out into some of the other decks also, I would say that the Captain Century one is also good, as well as the Dark States. So those three are like my top three to recommend to new players for Overdress. What about you guys?
Personally, I feel that the ones that are easy to play, depending on whether you want to play this on easy mode or actually have a challenge, because beginners, some people like to play. So the easiest would be Seraph Snow, because Seraph Snow is very straightforward to think. Not much required to think too hard into the future. You just present things and then go triple drive over very quickly, and then followed up by next night is actually Nomada, which is the Dragon Empire deck, which is it's all well balanced, easier to operate, And then we have Kata Sanctuary. Kata Sanctuary is a more grade 3 centric start deck. And not much defenses, but it's got very good defensive power. Also fairly easy to control. Then we have the last two, which is Bruce. Violent Bruce, Dark State. Dark State is a bit more towards the waiting game and needs you to be very careful not rush to the fight. So it's not very beginner friendly, but its payoff is really amazing. As for the last one is Stoicheia. Stoicheia's problem is that you are very dependent on using Magnolia's Overdress, Persona right ability, and you have to really calculate your resources before you make any moves, and you have to be pretty precise about it as well.
Yeah. Agree on that also. If you're looking for something a bit more technical, you can go into Vanguard's start deck. If you're looking for something a bit more on the technical play side. Otherwise, the Dragon Empire deck, I believe, is a good strong choice for new players as well. What about you, Dems?
I actually have the same opinion as Leon. Being this, in terms, if you want to learn the game and have a good consistent time, Vanguard is definitely the first one that I have in mind. Considering that I've played it a few times or so, it's very easy to. It's like how should I say? It's like the tutorial of all gacha games. It makes you feel empowered until all the things starts coming in, and you're like, oh, I gotta start from the beginning, that kind of thing. Second one would definitely be Dragon Empire. Dragon Empire is actually very very simple to play as well because it's rather straightforward. There isn't a lot of like different kinds of mechanics just from the start deck itself. It doesn't have a lot of special mechanics that you have to notice that you have to keep in mind when you're playing. So it's easy to understand. It's definitely an entry level for people who are just starting out to learn Vanguard. For the third one is definitely Kata Sanctuary as well. Aside from the fact that it used to be United Sanctuary, which is like the main nation for Prey. Right now, it doesn't really have a lot of complicated skills and synergy as of now. So it is good for you to learn, as well as try something different, which is focusing entirely on grade 3s. So it's also a nice it's a nice entry level and a breath of fresh air for people who want to start. And then last two, I mean, Dark States, because not gonna lie, when I see you play again, it does get a bit complicated sometimes.
I should not be the standard to compare in terms of difficulty though. So
not difficulty, complication. Like the way how one skill connects to another, that kind of thing.
You say complication, I say difficulty. So
fair enough. And then last one definitely be Stoicheia, because Stoicheia doesn't have a lot going for it as of now. It's too reliant on just one thing, and that is one of the bigger problems. So yeah, I'm going with this order.
So
well.
So I'd say the top two would be Brangate and Dragon Empire. So those are good two start decks to recommend to new players for you yourself to play or to introduce to others as well. So right.
Hope this helped. What's his name again?
Justin.
Justin
Bieber, yeah. So Brain says one more week and it's May and I'm excited to buy my Overdress cards. Oh yeah, it's coming out in English very very soon. So I hope
one more week.
Yep. Hope you guys hope we help generate the hype for you guys as well, because part of the reason why we play in Japanese is so that when we release the videos right, the English community can actually kind of see like what they can expect with the decks in action also. So hopefully you guys are hyped thanks to us. Thanks to some of the other content creators as well, that you guys are hyped for Overdress that's coming in May. So yeah, congratulations.
And plus, right, just to add it on top of it, if everything else also goes well, we will also start conducting English tournaments as well, for you guys to also join in on our server.
Yeah. So we are planning English tournaments. This online tournament isn't just for the Japanese format. We are also looking to start an English one as well. So so do look forward to more news from us on our socials, on our community tab, on our YouTube page, Twitch as well. Yeah, look forward to more tournament announcements from us here at CVGS. So yeah.
One of these days we should probably pit between the Japanese players and the English players against each other for a standard format leverage mix. Leverage remix.
Yeah, we probably can do a remix fight also. But yeah, we look forward to all those announcements coming from us very very soon. So Right, the Neo Daedalus says that the Hanamaru was the good one, and if we don't have those, and we don't have those cards, that deck really did well on Worlds that year. So, yeah, because I think the main reason why you guys didn't get the Hanamaru set is only because of the fact that Touken Ranbu wasn't very popular in the English side. So that's why they opted not to print for that. And Vanguard, I think at the time was a bit tumultuous in terms of people starting to waver in their capabilities to purchase Vanguard products, and so Touken Ranbu was one of the ones that got hit. So at least in English. So, but just the same, I'd say you should look forward to the stuff in D, because there could potentially be stuff in there that can make up for the loss of the Hanamaru set in English. So yeah, hopefully it comes out in English and it comes out in its full capabilities, so you guys can get access to it and be able to start playing Touken Ranbu in Overdress in English as well. So,
Yep.
Brain says that I think Monster Strike will be late since the Bank Dream one was late. That's a potentiality because Monster Strike didn't gain a lot of traction in the English side, as far as I understand. So it is popular in Japan at least also. So yeah, we will be getting it on the July 23rd on our side. But for English side, there's no news yet. So, but stay tuned to us. We will bring you the news about any sort of news for the English side, for Vanguard, for the collab sets, once they get released. So, Kayo says that I will wait for Lyrical Monasterio to see Sword Boys the Nation versus Idols on a Whale the Nation. So, husbandos versus waifus.
Yes, husbando versus waifus.
Husbando versus waifus. We gotta get Joe in this. So. Kazu says, I know this collab. Yes, it's the collab. Justice says, I guess I'll get Gate and Dragon also. My friend and I were looking for a new game to try out. So Vanguard is a really good game to try out, and it's one of those games, right? Especially with this new era, the start decks. It's good. That deck will remain good to you for a significant amount of time. It's an option for you to choose whether if you want to pick up new stuff from the booster or not. Because if you do, you have a much better deck going forward, but the deck on its own is actually strong enough that it can kind of compete with the decks that has boost as well. So you have yourselves a very good deck for a very, very long time. So that much I can assure you from there, Justin. So yeah, Aizawa asks if Vanguard makes another collab with other game like Monster Hunter and others.
I got one. Uma Musume.
Oh bro. Yeah, that is more likely to happen.
Yeah, exactly. I can see that happening already. Can you imagine the turf racing is a set order? Or like the idle stage, I don't know, whichever works.
So far, I would never think Monster Hunter will ever make it to any of the card games.
Yeah.
Other than Capcom's own mobile card game,
Teppen.
That's Capcom. And then
trading card game. Oh wait, that's Square Enix, my bad.
Yeah. The chances are those things are very hard to come by.
What was that called again?
Teppen.
Teppen.
Yep.
Teppen, yeah. Because Teppen, it's a card game that you cannot play physically because it has a system where the units kind of like in the column, the something column, they kind of fight each other in a way.
Yep.
So like the damage travel and then each other like okay, then take damage.
Yeah. And when the game first came out, I think there were already decks for Rathalos and Nagigante already in Teppen that you can actually build also. So yeah. In terms of collabs, right, I think the one that I want to see, right, this may be biased, but I think this City of Final Fantasy would be alright in Vanguard. So
Square would never allow that, to be honest, unfortunately.
No, Square would
because
never
they already
allow
have their own card games.
Yeah, but it's
they
like
already have their own card game to focus on.
Correct.
I mean, it's
the question was, what do you hope to see? I hope to see, despite everything, right? I hope to see, like, if they do another collab, if they do it with the City of Final Fantasy, I'll be throwing every single one of my money at the thing. So, however broke.
Oh, we'll hold you on to that. I'm gonna write to Bushido. Get our intern to help out.
Get Matt the intern to help out also.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would be my hopes also. But I think realistically speaking, right? It may be difficult to kind of predict what could be a good IP that could do a collab with Vanguard also. There's
the only one I have in mind is Uma Musume. That's it, because it's getting really popular right now. Bushido will never miss the opportunity to grab something that's very trending.
Kyle Ling also agrees with you. Uma Musume worked well in Lyrical Monasterio.
Lyrical Monasterio is debatable because we don't know what that one does yet. But it will probably be its own nation, so to speak.
Similar to like Touken Ranbu, similar to Monster Strike and all that. So yeah, potentially. Potentially.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay lah. I think.
Yes, but Uma Musume is more likely to be WS than.
Yeah, correct. It will be more likely for it to be in
WS most likely. Yeah, definitely yes. That one is for sure.
Absolutely. So. All right.
Or why not? Sorry.
No.
Or why not? Right. Uma Musume for Wife Watch will focus on the anime version. I mean that's what they do best. Whereas if they were to collaborate with Vanguard instead, it will be the Pretty Derby version, which is the mobile game. That one makes more sense.
So
we have to see.
we have to see. So, Kazuo says that, and then it happens collab with Final Fantasy. Scarlet, it happens. So fingers crossed. Yeah, I would throw I wouldn't max rarity. I wouldn't max rarity or even shine my deck also. But I will be collecting as much as possible. Also, but I'm not talking about Final Fantasy. I'm not talking about Final Fantasies like each individual title. I'm talking about the Dissidia spin-off because I think that is like the best representation of all Final Fantasy that there is out there. So it's only specifically Dissidia. If it's any other Final Fantasy specific ones, that depends on which title it is. Because if it's 8, yes. If it's 3, probably no for me. So that kind of thing. So Kyle says that because in the law only women can be lyrical monasterio. Hope to see other musical styles. Yes, I think it was said that because of the way that Bangjin was released with the song cards and all that, we could be seeing them playing set order cards that are actually song cards similar in nature. So yeah, it's possible. So and yeah, Lyrical Monasterio is a idol group. So, but I think it's more an idol group more so than a women's only group. Don't hold me to it, but you know, men can also there are male idol groups out there. So it could be Lyrical Monasterio could be catering to all genders. So we could see some boys in Lyrical Monasterio also. Potentially speaking, of course. Also.
Boys.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's a good thing to kind of like expand your horizon a little bit also because there is potentiality that men could be in Lyrical Monastery also if they want to be a male idol group. then we can get a whole bunch of ogres just trying to appeal to a fan base instead of Adelaide.
I think Dempster's reaction was all like, "Boy idols." Boys like you.
Alright. Brain says that if I want to collab in Vanguard, it's every fighting game that he plays. So Tekken, Street Fighter, etc. So
okay, to be fair, right, I did have one collaboration from Vanguard that was it wasn't even a full one collab. It was at a point that we're releasing as key rangers. I don't even know why it was a thing, but yeah, Garo was one of the series that made it into Vanguard's Key Rangers promos.
Yep.
And I had like play sets of it, and they are somewhere in the office.
I think I've seen them a couple of times also.
Yeah.
I roughly know where they are. So. Yeah, I roughly know where they are. Yeah. But yeah, so I think anything is possible. If we look back at the history of Ad Rangers, it is quite possible that any of those could actually become collaboration sets also. If anything, these collab sets that we're seeing right now, right, would have more likely been Ed Ranger style cards. So, which means that's the only collab that he gets right there. So. But yeah, so okay. Yeah, I think it's a good time that we end the stream because we're almost at this at 2 hours. Leon and Dempster has been here for about an hour or so thank you guys for coming on. Even though it was late, it was as late as it is, but thank you guys again for coming on. Kyle says Trap Idols, I will buy that. See, there is a market for it. So
Culture. Man of culture. Yeah. So yeah. So again, if you guys like what we do here and you want to join up with more of our discussion streams, we're also on Twitch as well for Tuesdays during the live stream when it's happening on YouTube. So you guys can join us over there and we can have a discussion there. At the same time, also just give us a follow over on Twitch.
twitch.tv/CosmosVGS. Give us a subscribe here on YouTube and ring the bell so you can notify all our videos when they release, whether it be for our fight videos, whether it be for our discussion videos, some recap videos, which will be coming out tomorrow. My script for that recap video is actually very big. Because surprisingly, I have to include some stuff in case there are Touken Ranbu players that are actually watching the recap video, so which I expect there to be the case. So, yeah, we will have a recap video out, 5 videos again coming out soon. We are going to be going into the office, and we're going to be filming our decks, our 5 videos with the boosts from DBT01. So look forward to that. Hence, do be sure to subscribe to us if you haven't already, because 50% of you guys are actually not subscribed. So if you do like what you see here, do give us a subscribe over there. At the same time, also follow us on all of our socials. We're on Facebook, we're on Twitter, we're on Instagram. We also have a Discord as well, where we are right now. If you guys like to talk to us, you can head over to the links in the description box below. They'll bring you to our socials, to our Discord. You can find myself, Leon, and Amsterdam most nights. Just give us a shout out. And yeah, if you like what you see here and want to support the show directly, you can join the likes of One Law, Daddy Aguieto, Samuel McKay. You guys are awesome in supporting us over the months for here on YouTube, and we hope to have your continued support going forward. Thank you guys again. If you guys would like to join in, the join button is down there. You guys can actually get access to our meme emotes and badges, and even get some request videos. So if you wanted to see a specific video from us, do be sure to support us by clicking join button, and you will have the access to request a video from us. So that's one of the things. Yeah, and actually one last thing as well. Just a final reminder. We have a tournament happening this Sunday, Japanese Vanguard on Discord server, so it'll be remote fights at 8 PM GMT +8. You guys will be competing for 1 box of the new booster set in Japanese. It will cost $5, and we need a minimum of 14 players. So if you guys want to compete, just look forward to our socials where you can find the links, and then you'll be able to join in. And then from there, we will 100% be able to kick off the tournament, and you guys can win some good stuff and have some fun at the same time as well. And English players, do look forward to announcements for an English tournament, because we will have that happening very, very soon. So do keep up to date with us on all of our socials for all of that. So yeah, so Brain says make the top 10 right lines. I think that's something that we will do, so we will 100% look into doing that for sure. So Brain says thank you guys for the stream. It's awesome talking to you guys. It's been awesome talking with you guys as well. I'm glad that you guys are here every week with us, whether it's just myself alone or with Leon and Dempster at my side here. Thank you guys so much for joining us on this endeavor. Like, you know, the only reason why we want to keep continue doing this is because you guys are here, and we don't want to end this and let you guys down. So that's why we continue with this despite everything. And yeah, we just love doing this with you guys as well. So right, Andrew asks, when is the Monster Hunter Rise collab if Capcom decides to not be a dick pickle about it? So
wow, man, we can't free.
So yeah, anything else that Leon and Dems you guys would like to add, so that I stop using the words, any final words?
I'll use that on you next time. Don't worry. But no, I got nothing.
I swear to God, you guys are gonna be using it in any of the fight videos that we're gonna have going forward, aren't you?
Oh no, we got blown. Our cover is blown. Yes.
No, well, I will always ask you what is your final words before I end you on the videos.
no. The way I see Leon doing this, he's gonna go, Cap, any last words? No? Here are my last words. Final turn.
Remind me to do that in the next 5 videos.
That is if I get 10 points to challenge you, champion. So
you made it.
That's up to you to remember already.
I mean, with viewers joining you. Oh, right. So
on the Twitch stream, that's what you're talking about.
Okay. So I apologize, Andrew. So because we had a lot going on right there. So yes, last but not least, absolutely last but definitely not the least, twitch.tv/CosmosVGS. You guys will be able to join us there as we continue playing Monster Hunter Rise. We're still happily playing it from here to time, and I promise you guys a fan or playing with viewers session, and that will be happening. I'm trying to get it out. I'm trying to have that on tomorrow actually, but do keep up to date on socials. If not tomorrow, it'll be on Friday. So I did promise you guys that I will have something like that going forward, and just keep up to date with our socials, and we will have a Monster Hunter Rise session where we play with the viewers. So yeah, just give us a follow over there, keep up with our socials, and we will let you know very, very, very soon. Right, so with all that said, thank you guys again for joining us on this live stream, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.
Bye.